Hello, guys. I am Lori, and I'm going to be doing a presentation on Jinshin Jitsu therapy. Um, to get started, I was going to talk a little bit about the opioid crisis. I'm sure we all either personally or know someone who has been affected by the opioid crisis. Um, and just some information that I found is that people are being prescribed opioid medications to treat acute and chronic pain. However, it's often leads to addiction, as we know. A recent study showed that 55% of the American population is on prescription medications. Um, each one of those individuals takes on average probably 4 different um, prescription pills in as far as opioids go. From 2015 through 2016, the following states had more overdoses than anyone else in the United States. Number one was West Virginia, who had 52 people per 100,000 that overdosed. Number two was Ohio, which had 39.1 per 100,000 people. New Hampshire was third with 39 people per 100,000. Pennsylvania was fourth with 37.9 people per 100,000. And Kentucky came in fifth at 33.5% per 100,000 overdoses. It also says that Kentucky is the fourth most medicated state in the nation and has the sixth highest rate of overdoses, which was kind of alarming to me. I knew that it was a problem, and but when you really look at numbers, it really puts it out there. I did research and found an article that is entitled Prescription Drugs Orphan Children in Eastern Kentucky. This article focuses on how the opioid epidemic is affecting children, particularly in one Kentucky county, that being Rockcastle County. According to an anti-drug activist and educator, Rockcastle County is averaging one drug-related death per week. Now the county itself is averages a little over 16,000 people. So with those numbers, that means that they're losing a whole generation. And that generation being lost is parents, leaving a number of children without mom or dad or both. The article goes on to say that according to a 2010 census data, more than 86,000 children in Kentucky are being raised by someone who is not their biological parent. And oftentimes that someone is a grandparent. People, the article also stresses that people need to understand that this is a problem, and that it's not just affecting the person that uses the drugs, but it's also affecting the entire family. Um, so, this is just one of the many effects that the opioid crisis has on our community. As we are aware, there are many, many more effects that it can cause. And one of those effects is in healthcare. And as an oncology nurse, I see firsthand how the opioid crisis impacts cancer patients specifically. Um, Cancer patients commonly, probably 90 to 95% of the time, experience severe pain that's related to either their disease and or treatments like radiation therapy. Um, Opioids are a big part in managing cancer pain. And yes, cancer patients have that possibility of becoming addicted. Um, Oncology nurses are big with, educating on how to prevent that. And the government regulations, such as obtaining prior authorizations and mandatory wait times before filling prescriptions, while I think that all those are good, when it comes to the cancer patient, oftentimes it can lead to undertreated pain that results in unnecessary suffering for them. And oftentimes the cancer patient will end up in the ED or admitted just to get their pain under control. So I chose the non-opioid pain relief strategy, Jinshin Jitsu. This is an ancient form of touch therapy. And the theory behind it is that energy flows through our bodies along certain pathways, and that these pathways can become blocked due to everyday stressors, illnesses, and that when they do become blocked, that we often experience disharmony in our body, and that can be shown as pain. So I chose this method of non-opioid pain relief because I have witnessed firsthand the effects of it on cancer-related pain. Oftentimes with cancer patients, the pain is immediate relief. In a recent pilot study conducted by the Jinshin Jitsu practitioner at the University of Kentucky Markey Cancer Center, involved 159 cancer patients who were asked to rate their pain level on a scale of 0 to 10 prior to and after a Jinshin Jitsu therapy. And patients reported on average a 2-point reduction in their pain. So, and like I said, I have witnessed firsthand myself the pain relief that it gives to patients. So my teaching plan is obviously the target audience is going to be presented to cancer patients aged 18 and older who are undergoing chemotherapy treatments in an outpatient infusion clinic. Approximately 80% of these patients are prescribed opioids for disease-related pain, and however, about 50% report inadequate pain relief. All Patients in this clinic are introduced to alternative pain relief options that are available through the Integrative Medicine Clinic. Several of those options available, and several of our patients have used these options, such as massage and aromatherapy, but only about 20% have used Jin Shin Jyutsu therapy. So the goals of the teaching and learning plan is at the end of this presentation, the patient or family will verbalize an understanding of a possible alternative to relieve cancer-related pain. My learning objectives for the patient for cognitive will be the patient will state 2 benefits of Jin Shin Jyutsu therapy for cancer-related pain by the end of this teaching session. And the patient will evaluate if Jin Shin Jyutsu therapy is an appropriate alternative for relief of cancer-related pain by the end of this teaching session. Learning objectives for effective is the patient will recognize the benefits of Jin Shin Jyutsu therapy by the end of this teaching session, and the patient will share Jin Shin Jyutsu therapy concepts and methods with his or her support system to increase compliance with long-term therapy. Learning objectives for psychomotor will be the patient will visit UK Healthcare's Integrative Medicine website to explore Jin Shin Jyutsu services, classes, and events by the next treatment visit. And the patient will independently schedule an appointment with a Jin Shin Jyutsu therapist for subsequent treatment visits. How I will know that learning has occurred. Cognitive learning will have occurred if the patient is able to state benefits of Jin Shin Jyutsu therapy and verbalize if he or she feels it is an appropriate pain relief alternative for them. Effective learning will have occurred if the patient recognizes benefits of the Jin Shin Jyutsu therapy and is willing to share its concepts, methods with his or her support system. And psychomotor learning will have occurred if the patient independently schedules an appointment with a Jin Shin Jyutsu therapist. The handout that I have is, so it says Jin Shin Jyutsu. Says, what is Jin Shin Jyutsu? Jin Shin Jyutsu is the art of balancing the body's energy system using touch therapy. Restores the body to a state of well-being. Did you know Jin Shin Jyutsu therapy has been proven to provide immediate pain relief? Therapy can be provided during chemotherapy treatments, and this is a free service offered to cancer patients. What can I expect during a Jin Shin Jyutsu therapy session? So a session typically lasts about an hour. You will lie or sit on a comfortable table or chair. You remain fully clothed, and the therapist will gently hold specific areas on the body called safety energy locks and specific hand placement combinations known as flows. Are there side effects? No. The most common reported effect is a feeling of deep relaxation after treatment. And then I have, for more information, you can search UK Healthcare, Integrative Medicine, and the National Institute of Health, Integrative Health. Thank you, everyone, for your time.